Good afternoon. July is rapidly drawing to a close, and with the month of August, and it's already everybody's thinking about the return to school, and whether there will be school, how there will be school, and so on. So school's getting a lot of attention, but there's something else along those lines we need to think about, and that is the religious instruction of the children of St. Peter's Parish. And how can we do that? Because actually that's going to be in some ways easier, some ways more difficult. So I'm going to talk a little about that today, but what we really want to first focus on, what we really need to learn to focus on in these days is what is most essential. And what is truly most essential is the salvation of souls. That's the essential purpose of a priest. If it weren't for the salvation of souls, there wouldn't be Catholic priests. There would be no need for us, simply speaking. Okay? And that's not something, though, that we can count on making it by pure luck. Each one needs to do his part, so it's really good to keep in mind the words of our Lord. They're not very popular, but they're very important. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction. And those who enter through it are many. How narrow the gate and constricted the road that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Now, while a parish priest has care for the salvation of the souls within his parish, parents have care for the salvation of the souls of their children. And that's why they must take the religious instruction of their children very, very seriously. They're responsible. And they are always the primary teachers of their children. That's regardless. And even if they're not teaching their children, they're teaching their children. And you who are parents all know that you will teach your children one way or the other. They will learn from you. So what are we going to do? Because actually, already what we're talking about as far as what's going to be going on with St. Mary's Academy, we're not going to have the space for Sunday school here. We just won't have the space available. It won't be available to us to have catechism classes as before. Okay, so we're basically going to plan on not having regular on-site instruction of children. So as I said, the parents are the primary educators. That means that you will need to assume the role of teaching your children the faith. So basically the principle we're going to follow is that parents need to teach their children. We are here to help you. Okay, and I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment. But I want to first, make a remark. Is a woman I know, not from here, but many years ago commented how precious the experience of teaching her own children about the faith was. This is a woman who homeschooled all her children, but that also meant then she instructed them in the faith. And that experience alone of talking to her children about the faith, teaching the faith from a very early age, was so precious to her and did so much for her relationship with her children, she couldn't imagine leaving that to someone else, okay? But of course, she was well equipped for the task, and many parents may go, well, I don't really know what to do. And that's why, as I said, we're here to help you. So the details of how we're going to do this are still being worked out, but I can run through a few things that we're looking at it, and then will be needed. So it'll still be necessary for you to register your children so that we know that they are preparing to receive the sacrament, First Communion or Confirmation. Okay. We will be setting forth determined dates when you will be able to present your child saying, I believe my child is ready to receive this sacrament. Okay? And then, now that's not a given, okay? They have then to really be ready for the sacrament. But if we judge and the child is ready to receive the sacrament, we will then do something as far as providing immediate preparation for the sacrament. Now, as I said, we won't be able to have regular classes for children. We will have, after registration is complete, and we have an idea of how many, we'll probably have to have one or more meetings with the parents to sort of communicate more completely the expectations. But we also are looking at having not regular class for children, but regular times in which the parents can come with or without their children for assistance. Not the children by themselves, the parents come because you're the ones that will be doing the principal teachers here, but the times, regular times, you probably have to sign up because we won't have room to have, if everybody comes at once, but you need special assistance, you have some questions, and maybe certain topics will also be developed in those sessions. The curriculum and the books for the program will be provided, as well as a clear set of expectations and goals. But a clear set of expectations and goals is going to be important, not to just go into this with the attitude, well, I need to get my child the minimum in order that he can pass the test in the end and receive the sacrament. The expectations and goals have to be, the achievement of those has to be rooted in a fuller soil of learning the faith and practicing the faith. One thing that I will be doing from here on out, I'll be preparing a series of videos based on the Rosary, which will be actually something to help you teach your children. Because if you pray the Rosary and really learn the Rosary with the mysteries, you kind of have the whole content of what you need to teach the children right there in the Rosary. And it's a beautiful way then to teach them. I've done class on this before with parents who have children entering in first year of First Communion. And so I'll try to put that in a video format for you. Now, for preparation for First Communion, more will be required of the parents. For confirmation, and so we'll be starting a new confirmation cycle this year. It's a 2-year cycle. Probably the first year will be a lot more required of you, but in the end, we recognize yes, we'll need to do something more as far as providing supplementary instruction for the children. Okay? So that's sort of give you an idea of where we're going. Again, in the end, this will require commitment on the part of you parents. So if a parent fails to work with his child, the child will not be ready and will not receive the sacrament. And we're not going to be keeping track anymore of whether you're going to Mass on Sunday or not, but if you're not going to Sunday Mass regularly, that will show. So in doing it this way, we will not automatically then accept children for the sacraments. We must see that they've been adequately prepared, that you've really taken the time to prepare your child. Okay? And that may seem severe, but really if we look at what's going on in the world, what's going on in our country, what's going on in our lives, more and more we are entering a time of decision. And the question that everybody must answer finally is, do you want to walk with the world or do you want to walk with Christ?